Hello, everyone. It's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate, and today I have a special message for all you trolls out there. Yes, you special people, that special community that has been coming onto my short about the irresponsible dog owner, which is my downstairs neighbor, and commenting about how I'm judgmental and I'm a Karen and I'm a hoarder and I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person because I'm recording something that someone is doing that's irresponsible. I should mind my own business, right? Right? Well, I just want to let all of you trolls know that guess what? I love you. I do. I love you so much. Mwah. You know why I love you? Because your commenting all those nasty things about me has driven that the algorithm. It really helps drive the algorithm, which means it pushes out that short. That short is coming up on 7K. Can you believe that? 7K. And what would be cooler is if that short would go viral. And if that short goes viral, then my neighbor will probably find out about it. Woohoo! And so will the landlord and administration of this program, because I live in a permanent supported housing program that's supposed to help poor, vulnerable, marginalized people. And instead, they don't care. They take the money and they bother to do nothing. We had stairs that were rusted out that somebody fell down a year ago. They finally got repaired last year because I went to the county about it. But there's lots of issues that goes on here. We had my one downstairs neighbor where the irresponsible dog owner is living now. The previous tenant, she got drunk, fell asleep, passed out with a lit cigarette, and whoosh, there goes the apartment. We could have all been unalived over here. So, when you talk about, an irresponsible dog owner, there's also a human component to that. It's not just about the animals, it's also about the people with which they interact. And so we're going to talk about that for a little bit. But before I do, I just want to see if I can put this down here that you can see it. I want everybody to look at that because I want the trolls to see this. Do you see all that food sitting on the table, trolls? Do you see it? Do you see all that food? See all that food? All those Friskies, that's how many? There's 12. There's 12, 12, 24, 24, 48, 48, 48, and another 24. Let's see, 48 and 24 is what? 62, something like that? So there's like 62 cans of food just there in those flats, but then all that other food there lined up, guess where that came from? That came from our community, our lovely advocate community. So I just want you to understand something, trolls, that you're supporting the community. How about that? Didn't think about that, did ya? You didn't think about all those negative comments are actually supporting Karen here. Joke's on you. Supporting Karen and the cats that I feed because guess what? We are now over 200 subs. We're up to like 206 subs. So at here's how YouTube works. At 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours, because I don't know, but this pushing this short out. I mean, I don't care if you're a troll or you're an advocate. If you're watching that short, you're supporting this channel. So all you advocates out there, all the advocates in our clouder, because we don't have a community here, we have a clouder. All the advocates in our clouder, thank the trolls. Thank them. Thank them for helping to support us. Because by supporting the Armchair Cat Advocate, when I get big enough, I'm going to be supporting all the other advocates that help supported me and help me get up here, because my goal is to have some kind of a fund where I can help people that are feeding cats, because everyone's struggling. Everyone's struggling financially. They're trying to run their lives, but they're also trying to take care of stray cats that aren't even theirs. You know, So when you're leaving nasty comments, you're actually supporting this channel and you're supporting the work that I'm doing. You're supporting the work that my friend Kim is doing. You're supporting both of us, and you're supporting you're supporting you're supporting fluffy, puffy kitty cats like my boy Fury, who was a stray kitten born out on the street, and now he's an advocate. He's a celebrity kitty, and everyone loves him, and they send him gifts. Right, Fury? So, just wanted all of those trolls to know that you're actually supporting the channel. So keep on sending with the negative comments, but in the meantime, I do want for context because I have gotten a lot of nasty comments and a lot of nasty comments about mind your own business, Karen. Stop hiding behind the camera, Karen. You're a hoarder, Karen. You're not very nice. You're mean. You're a horrible person. Why don't you be nice to your neighbor? Why don't you show love to your neighbor? Okay, well, let me tell you about my neighbor. And we're going to call her Susie. So before I go any further, I apologize to anyone who's actually named Susie who is a nice and decent person. I'm sorry. It's just like a very common name, and it's just kind of like Jane Doe, Joe, what do they call it? John Doe, Jane Doe, Plain Jane. I mean, it's just kind of like one of those names where it just is it's a very old name. It's just kind of out there and everybody uses it for that kind of reason. So apologies to any Susies out there. I'm sure you're lovely people. Unfortunately, the Susie I'm going to talk about is not. So Susie in the building, Susie moved in 2019. She had the dog. Prior to the dog moving in, the dog had been in a fight and the dog had broken his tooth. The dog then developed an abscess from that tooth and had a raging infection, which Susie left to go unchecked for 2 years. The dog would cry. The dog had, she told me one time the dog was having a seizure and she just held onto the dog and prayed over him. And part of Susie's problem is Susie just doesn't think she should have to pay for anything because Susie has an emotional support dog. And because she has an emotional support dog, everybody should pay for that because she's disabled. Well, Susie is disabled. That's true. But that doesn't mean that because you're disabled that you shouldn't do, you should not have to you shouldn't have to pay for your dog. Now, Susie also likes to work. Susie works a lot. But Susie works for things like illegal substances, cigarettes, booze. She scammed my neighbor out of his Camaro for $200. The only thing that was wrong with that Camaro was he got a battery placed and didn't connect the wires right. So the car didn't work for like a year just because the wires weren't connected right. It was crazy. But she knew that. So she had somebody that looked at it and they knew it. And so she just told him, oh yeah, that car's no good. And so she gave him $200. So she got that. There was also incidents where Susie would have people come by and money would exchange hands and other things would exchange hands. And we'll leave it at that. And that, and the hand exchanging was generally $40. And the $40 would go to cigarettes or booze, not to the dog. Okay. Susie also had opportunity to get the dog neutered for free through the SPCA. Susie also had the opportunity to get this dog vetted through the SPCA for like $125, which Susie thought that was too much money because she has an emotional support animal. She shouldn't have to pay that. Somebody else should. So Susie would buy things off of Amazon, people things like homeopathic remedies and such, which is probably what gave the dog the seizure. She's lucky the dog didn't become unalive through that. And then Susie had, the other issue with Susie is Susie also would buy fish antibiotics online and give him like 3 times the antibiotics he should have had. So when you have people that are coming on here and saying that I'm a horrible person, I'm a judgmental and everything else, keep in mind that I spent a whole day out of my life to help somebody that is irresponsible get her dog vetted. I called every single frickin' rescue I could think of and ended up finding someone that would actually come out and vet and pay to help the vet the dog. So she had to pay part of it, which she did do that. So, but it was like 2 years that this dog went with this, which was some kind of a tumor he had on him. From what I understand is these things, these vet issues, if she hadn't gone when she did, that he would have been unalived. There you can see, and that's actually Susie. So for you people that say, "Oh, you don't love your neighbor," okay, well, I tried to love my neighbor. I tried to help her. That's actually Susie holding her dog, so I can take a picture. And there it is again. There's a close up of it. I don't know what it is, a cyst, something, but it had to be removed. And here's Susie holding the dog's mouth open. Do you see this little nub, like right there? That little nub is an infected tooth. It was broken. It became infected. It was becoming septic, which means the poison from that tooth was going through his body. There it is again. You can see it a little more clear. You can't really see that it's brown there, but you can see it was broken off. It's just a little nub. There's the tumor again. And there he is at the gate. And he was at the gate. He wasn't neutered then, but he was at the gate at that moment because Susie had just scammed my neighbor out of his Camaro, and Susie was trying to figure out how to connect her music to the Bluetooth, and the dog was there crying because the dog wanted to go up because it was so stinking hot. And I was telling her, he wants to go up. He doesn't want to be out here. He doesn't want to be walking around. And he has short hair, so probably mosquitoes and stuff were bugging him too. But no, Susie was too busy trying to get her Bluetooth set up, so Susie just couldn't be bothered to put her dog, in the apartment where he would have been air conditioned, he would have been comfortable. So for all you trolls out there, you want to come at me, come on, go ahead, come at me on this one too. I doubt very much that you're going to want to, watch a 15-minute, video, because you probably don't have the attention or the cognitive skills to do that. But whatever, doesn't matter, because we are now on our way to 500. So thank you, trolls, for that. But I just wanted to kind of clarify what was going on there with the dog and why I did what I did. It wasn't me hiding. It wasn't me being a Karen. It's because this dog needs help. And the problem is the way the system's set up, as long as he's being fed and he looks okay and he's, relatively healthy, they're not going to do anything. They don't care about his mental state. They don't care that she's negligent. She's probably more negligent than abusive. But I think, putting a dog in a hot cab of a pickup truck with no air conditioning is, when you're in like 100-degree heat, I think that's abusive. I think making him go up and down into that cab when he has hip dysplasia, and when he walks, his legs are kind of splayed because of the hip dysplasia, and he gets into the truck and then he can't get down, and she screams at him because he can't get out of the truck. Or when she first moved in and she lived above me, and she would be gone for 10, 12 hours a day, and the dog would pee on the floor, and she'd scream at him for peeing on the floor because, hey, nobody was there to put him out. I mean, if you're fine with that, if you think that's not abusive, if you think that's a good pet owner, well, then I don't know what to say. Whatever. I give up. This channel definitely isn't for you, though, because this is for people that care, that are responsible, that are compassionate, and really want to change things. So for those people, I want to thank you. I want to thank our little advocate Clowder that we have going on here. I want to thank you all for all this support. I want to thank you for, helping to push that algorithm as best you can and getting us to over 200 subs. And, when we get to 250, that's going to be halfway to 500. Now we got to get the watch hours going. So maybe we'll do a live. We'll start doing some more lives. Maybe I can wrangle Kim to come in. Maybe we'll do like Advocat After Dark / Off the Rails with Kim and Wanda. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do something like that. We'll think about it. But in the meantime, I want to thank everyone again for all your support. I want to thank you for all the gifts. I'm gonna do an unboxing video after I get this one uploaded. Um, Thank you for watching. For those of you who are reasonable, sensible people and not trolls, if you like this content, you want to keep seeing more of it, please consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you know when we have a video uploaded, and click a thumbs up, and leave a comment. I would like it to be respectful and nice because we have enough negativity in the world. But hey, if you have to leave a poop emoji or an anger emoji, or if you want to call me a Karen and tell me that I suck, fine. Helps the algorithm. Why not? Because the end result is I'm going to get monetized, and I'm going to be able to support other people that do this work, as well as the cats that I have now in the colony. So it's all good in the end. So on that happy note, thank you everyone for watching. Love you, trolls. I will see you later. So goodbye for meow.